Hello everybody, welcome back to another gel plate play session. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Okay, today I am going to be following up on something that I tried for the first time during the Mixed Media March Challenge. And I'll link the video that I did then in the top corner up here. But basically what I'm going to be doing today is to play with feathers on the gel plate and see what kind of effects we can get. I'm going to start off and replicate the same technique I used in the Mixed Media March Challenge, and then I'm going to experiment with some different techniques and different sort of layers and just see how we go. Now I've got a whole load of feathers here. As you can see, I've been up to the chicken run this morning and I've got some different feathers. Now some of these have got that quite hard spine, if you like, running down the middle, that is quite rigid, and others, that's sort of an in-between. Others like this one are much softer and downier. So if that's a word, downier, more downy. Anyway, fluffy. I'm going to see, let's pick that out. I'm going to see what different techniques or different impressions and prints we get from using the different types of feathers. I've got my two 8x10 gel plates here, and you'll see this one I call this registering the paper. So what I've actually done is to tape the piece of paper along the top edge of my rigid board, which sits under my gel plate, and that way I can take a print, lift it up and take another one, knowing that the paper is going to be in exactly the same place. So I'm going to have a play. I've got two plates. I'm going to have two plates going because I get really bored waiting for things to dry. So hopefully with two plates going, we can switch back and forth between the two, and you'll be able to follow along. I've also got my little 5x7 plate here in case I want to mix colours or use up some paint, because if I've got paint left over or I squeeze too much out, I'll often put it on here and then I'll pull onto an old piece of paper, like an old book page like this, or diary page or a scrap of paper, and then turn that into collage papers later on. So I've also got a brayer off sheet off to the side over here, which you won't be able to see, but that's where I'm going today. So going to try some different things. Don't know whether they're all going to work, but hey, that's the fun of gel printing. So sit back, relax and enjoy. folks. I had a little bit of a camera glitch there. I thought I was recording and you know what? I was talking to myself. Never mind. What I'm doing is I have my Pearlex powders out. Now these are made by a company, I think it's pronounced Jacquard. There is a similar one that Ranger produce, and these are really fine mica powders, and I've had these probably 15 or so years, and I had them originally in card making because you can use them with a Versamark gluey pad, like embossing, like you would for embossing. Sorry, I'm not very good at working and talking at the same time today. And so I've had these for yonks, and I've sort of pulled them out recently and started experimenting with them on the gel plate. I'm on a bit of a mission to start using some of the products and resources that I have stashed away, and I love things like this that you find a new use for. So as you can see, these very fine powders, you just brush them on to your plate and they stick, and they give that beautiful, as their name suggests, give that beautiful pearlescent look when we turn this over, and or when we pull this print even. So I've used them in this way, where you put a layer of colour down, and then you've used you know, a mark making tool or something like a feather or a leaf to pull the print, and then you add the Pearlex powders in to the areas that you've pulled. I've also used them if I've put masks down and then a layer of paint, take the masks up, and again you can use the Pearlex powders where you've taken the masks up. So I'll link a couple of videos up the top of the screen here to show you other things that I've done with the Pearlex powders. But they're great fun, and they sometimes look a little bit expensive to buy when you start off, but in all honesty, as you can see, I'm using the tiniest amount, and it goes a long way. So, you know, it's one of those things which might be worth investing in a couple of colours just to see how you go. But I'm loving them on the gel plate, and I've been playing with them quite a lot, I have to say. So this was the technique I used in the Mixed Media March video that I referred to earlier, and I did more or less exactly what I'm doing now. And when you're doing a monthly challenge, I find that sometimes things can all just get a little bit blurred, and you know, you have these wonderful ideas on the day and you try them out and then you sort of forget about them, and this was something that I wanted to come back to and try a bit more of, so hence replicating it now in my gel play sessions. And also I wanted to play with the feathers a little bit more. Actually, I've been intrigued by feathers as a mark making tool sort of thing on the gel plate. So yeah, that blue obviously wasn't quite dry when I started doing this, but I may, the soft brush, I may just be able to get rid of those They're going to smudge. Never mind, that'll just add interest into the background. Well, they've come off to a certain extent. There you go. Alright, so I've got a couple more here to do. I'm going to do those and then we'll pull this print and the last of the other ones that I've done, and we'll have a look and see what we've achieved with the feathers today, because it has been a bit of an experiment for me. As I say, I've only tried the feathers once before. And you know, sometimes these things work and sometimes they don't, but hopefully it's a bit of an inspiration for you. So let's finish this one off and then we can pull it and show you the Pearl-Ex powders. Okay everyone, let's have a look at some of the results we've got today. And you know, the thing about gel printing is some days you'll have a fantastic day and you'll love every print you pull, and other days it just seems that nothing quite goes to what you had in your mind. But look, that's the fun of gel printing. I want to show you these prints. They're not my favourites, but I want to show you, because this channel is not about being perfect and getting everything right all the time. This channel is about, hey, let's experiment together and see what happens. Anyway, let's see what we came up with. So this was the first one I pulled, and whilst it hasn't got a lot of detail in it, I think this is one that I might be able to do some further work on, perhaps with a fine pen, and put some of those details in and make something with it. Now this one has actually, if I can hold this up and you can see it, it's actually got quite a lot of detail in, but there's not enough contrast between the colours. And again, this one is similar, and even with a more contrast. I mean, I don't dislike this. There are bits of this which I think I could certainly cut out and use. So this one has some more contrast, but unfortunately pulled badly and still not my favourite. This was the one that I used the Pearl-Ex on, and I do like those, and I don't know whether you can see, if I tip it in the light there, whether you can see those colours coming through, the shine, yeah, there. So I do quite like that Pearl-Ex effect, and it's something that I will continue to play with. So those are the ones I did on camera today, and when I was having a look through them, what I realised was that maybe I needed to be using the darker colours. And so before I put all my gear away, I had another quick play. Now this one was a dark red, I don't know the name of the colour off the top of my head, it's almost a burgundy, and I pulled that with a gold, and there is some lovely detail in there. So what I was working on was using a darker colour as the base, registering the paper, using the darker colour as the base, and then a lighter or metallic colour over the top. And I think that way I've got much more detail in. This was an olive green pulled with bronze, which I thought was a bit of an unusual combination. But again, there's some bits that have got some quite good detail. And then I went for it's like a dark violet pulled with a pastel sort of lilac-y colour, and I do love the detail that's in that one, and I'm pleased with that. And then the last one I tried was a black pulled with silver, and again I got quite a lot of detail in it, but you know, not my best day on the gel plate. But look, I want to share this video anyway, and as I say, it's all about learning, isn't it? And there are certainly things that I would do differently next time, or try again with maybe some different colours. I think these three here, you see those three, let's move them down a bit. I think those three are probably my favourites from the day. But as I say, some of the others, they've got bits that I would use as collage pieces, or, you know, the beauty with gel printing, you can always go over the top. But there we go, folks, feathers on the gel plate. I'll be doing some more stuff with the Pearl-Ex powders in the future, so do keep an eye out for that. But for now, thank you very much for watching along with me today, and ka kite anō.